Welcome to Getting Started with Amazon Kendra, Enterprise Search for Every Business. I am Krishna Rajagopalan. I'm a software development manager with AI Services. Our mission at AWS is to put machine learning in the hands of every developer. The AWS ML Stack can be considered to be in 3 layers. We have the ML frameworks and infrastructure, which includes MXNet, AMI containers, GPUs and CPUs, elastic inference. We have ML services, which includes SageMaker, SageMaker Studio, SageMaker Ground Truth. And on the top layer, the third layer, we have the AI services, which include services like Amazon Recognition for images and Amazon Comprehend. And in new, we have Amazon Kendra, which is an enterprise search capability. So enterprise search, this is the agenda today. And we're going to be talking about why enterprise search is still a challenge, how Kendra enables you to rethink enterprise search. I'll be talking about how it works, the experience of what it is like to set up and use Kendra. I'll be walking through a demo of Kendra on Amazon help pages. And finally, I will talk to you about how to get started on your use cases and take questions and answers. Enterprise search, what is it? It's all of the documents that are not readily searchable right now in your corporate environment. These include your wikis. They include sometimes your Salesforce documents. They could even include your email distribution lists and archives. Why is it a challenge? The key challenges are: 1, search is a hard ML problem, and oftentimes when you create a search engine on these documents, you have low accuracy. You don't get what you're looking for. The vast majority of the data is unstructured. Sometimes you can provide some structure to them, but oftentimes an email distribution list, or even if they have links, they are not readily structured. And sometimes you have data in just file folders and documents, or just an S3. So it's hard to provide a search system that can go and provide high accuracy on these unstructured data. Searches are often also based on keyword engines. This means that they don't necessarily understand natural language processing. There is also a lot of complexity in the data. So, like I mentioned, you can have data in multiple data silos. You can have up to 20, 30 different data silos, which all have to be brought together. And sometimes you don't know where the answer is. You need to actually go into a particular system to find the answer. Wouldn't it be nice if you can index all of these data silos together and get an answer that can search through all of your internal data? And you also have to keep them up to date. Data constantly gets updated, and if you don't keep them up to date, you're going to get stale search results. The complexity of the data silos also means it's very hard to set up. Each silo has their own way of indexing and own way of own data formats. And having the ability to understand all of this and provide a comprehensive index is a big task by itself. How does this impact the enterprise? The enterprise, employees in the enterprise are looking for information. And it's a hard problem to go in and provide them all this information quickly. And so let's say employees are looking for benefits information, or they're just looking for something to get their job done. Not being able to provide that information quickly and easily lowers employee productivity. They spend more time looking for things rather than doing things. Not able to find the right information sometimes leads to increased risk and liability. It leads to duplication of work because many employees might be looking for the same information over and over again. And overall, it creates a negative customer experience. For example, let's say you have a call center, and the call center is looking for information quickly to enable answer questions on a customer call. Trying to search for information during the time loses valuable time and also creates frustration from a customer who has to be put on hold. So how does Kendra solve this problem? We are rethinking how enterprise search is done. So these are our premises on how we think enterprise search should work for everyone. We think that enterprise search should understand natural language queries. Queries like, what is my discount that I can avail? How long is my maternal leave? Nowadays, keyword search engines in the enterprise, it's sometimes a keyword based, but they fail at understanding the natural language queries. NLU and ML core, we have natural language understanding built into Kendra. There's also domain expertise. There are specific domains like pharmaceuticals, IT, chemical. Understanding each of these domains and training the ML models is something Kendra excels at. And Kendra also uses continuous improvement. It receives feedback on the search results, either through what the employees click on, or even direct feedback on whether they found the search result, and uses that to continuously train their models. Native connectors enable you to break through data silos. You can take the connectors and enable an index to connect to many different individual enterprise systems like Salesforce, like Box, OneDrive, or anything else that you use. Kendra comes with simple API and console experiences, and we also provide code samples so you can get started with your end user Kendra search application quickly. So we want to make it easy to find what you're looking for, and we want to make it simple and quick to set up. Let's dive into a little more detail about each of the features. Natural language queries. We want to understand the actual natural language and the intent of the search. So where is the IT support desk in Kumo? We want to respond with the right answer and provide supporting evidence of where the answer is. But we don't want to ignore keyword queries. Keyword queries like health, benefits, and parking elements are also important. Kendra provides 3 ways to provide answers. One, we call it the reading comprehension, which understands documents and provides answers, a suggested answer right at the top. Kendra also has the ability to look for matching questions. This feature is called FAQ matching. And finally, Kendra has the ability to provide ranked document search results, starting with the most relevant document down to more pages of documents. Kendra has been trained currently in 16 major domains. These domains are listed here. They include pharma, energy, media and entertainment, travel, and many more. Kendra is also designed to be continuously improving. It captures click-through data and user feedback, and it can retrain model periodically to keep increasing the search accuracy. So the more you interact with Kendra, the better it becomes. Kendra has native connector support. It's going to have 17 of the native connector support for 2020. We have S3 file systems. We want to have web crawlers. We'll have SharePoint Online. We have Box, Dropbox, many more. Kendra also provides simple experiences in the console. You'll be able to test your queries in console. It provides you an ability to even tune the relevance model, which I will talk about later. Kendra also comes with code samples, so you can get started with building your Kendra search application quickly. How does Kendra work? Kendra works, you can get started in just 3 steps. Step 1, you create an index. Step 2, you add data sources. These data sources can be S3, SharePoint, or any other connectors. And step 3, you check your search in your console, you test, and you deploy. Let me walk through the experience. Step 1, this is how you create an index. You provide an index name, you provide a description, provide permissions, You can optionally provide your own encryption key, or Kendra will use a default encryption key. Once you create an index, you add your data sources. Your data sources can be based on many different connector types. Kendra will automatically pull in the data. And then once that is done, you can go test your search in the console. Here's what the Kendra console looks like, search console. The top part, Kendra suggested answer, highlights an answer based on its confidence. You can see that it also provides supporting evidence and a link. Below, you have frequently asked questions, which are questions that you can give Kendra in advance, which will match to some of the questions that are there. It's a fuzzy matching. It doesn't have to be the exact question. And then you have ranked documents, which provide answers for the same question. Here's another example, which also shows the faceting to the left. So you can search in the data sources. This is an example actually from internal Amazon where you can search everywhere, or you can search in the wiki, or you can search in different Amazon data sources. You also have categories. You can filter by categories, or you can filter by authors. You can add your own filters. And finally, once you tested the search, you can take code component, you can deploy Kendra with the given code snippets. Kendra is currently available in preview. In preview, Kendra Enterprise Edition is available with some limits. Right now, Kendra supports 3 connectors, S3, SharePoint Online, and RDS. You can have a maximum of 100,000 documents comprising of 30 gigabytes of data maximum. Kendra supports up to 40,000 queries per day. This is roughly about 1 query every 2 seconds. You can have a maximum of 3 data sources per index. These, even though Kendra is in preview, this still allows you to test Kendra and even deploy for many applications. And I'll talk about a particular application in a demo. Kendra also has relevance tuning, which is available in preview. You can help Kendra tune its relevance, and we provide an easy way to do it. And I'll show you how. So you can use the relevance tuning to fine-tune Kendra's accuracy. Here's an example of how you can boost. Kendra's relevance tuning is based on 3 types of categories. It's text data, date, and numeric. Text includes title, author, or the data source, which if you go back, the example I just showed, it's broadcast videos or it's wiki. You can allocate different weightings for the data source. You can also fine-tune the counts, like if there was a specific metadata about your document, about view counts or how many people have liked a document, you can make that a higher rating for relevance. You can also choose to have tuning done by date parameters. A popular one is creation date. You might want to say that more recently created documents have higher weight. So let's start with having a demo for Kendra. For this Kendra demo, we're going to be using the Amazon help pages corpus. What you see here are the help pages of Amazon. You can see here there are a few documents that talk about how to return, how to, and it's not just how, it's about also what are my what are my ways I can get help, and different information about Amazon Prime, about managing your orders. So the Amazon help pages come with their own search. This is not powered by Kendra, but we are going to download all of these pages. I actually have the downloaded Amazon help pages, and we're going to ingest them into a Kendra index and then do a console search. To get started, you can go to your console and click on Amazon Kendra. this particular demo, I'm using the Ireland EU West one, but Amazon Kendra is also available in US East one and US West 2 at present. Click on Launch Amazon Kendra. This should take you into a Create Index page, and you can go ahead and create your index. I'm going to show you an example here as to how to create an index. Simply say Amazon Help Pages or name it whatever you want. You can create an option or description. Amazon Kendra automatically logs to CloudWatch. The IAM role, in this case, I'm going to create a custom IAM role, which will give access, or I can use an existing role. Let me go ahead and create another role. You can say my role name is going to be, the role name is automatically going to be prefixed with Amazon Kendra dash. In this particular case, I'm just going to call it demo index role 3 because I already had role 2. You can optionally choose to use your own KMS key. I wanted to keep this demo straightforward with not using my own KMS key at this point, but this is definitely an option you have. If you don't provide a KMS key, your data is still encrypted. So let me go ahead and create this. So the index is being created. If you can actually go back, so it's now propagating an IAM role. You can actually go back now after 30 seconds to see the index being created. I'm going to go over to an index already created. Here's an index that's already created. It's called demo index. Before we go into this index, I'm going to go and show you the S3 folder and the bucket where the help files are. I have in my S3 console an Amazon help pages bucket, which contains the documents. In this case, the documents simply contain the file without the HTML extension, and that's okay. Kendra should be able to determine that it's HTML. And let's look at just one of the files to confirm. We can download one of the files, and I'll just open it with the default. And you can see it's one of the pages which has only a list of links. And so we're going to go ahead and index all of these documents. So in this case, I've already indexed the documents, but I'll still walk through how we did this. Once an index is created, this is what it will look like. You'll have a node for the index, and then you have data management nodes. Data management includes data sources. In this case, I already have a data source, but you can also add a new data source. And then you'll be able to choose S3, SharePoint Online, or RDS. In this case, we've chosen S3. And to create an index, you go to add an S3 connector. And you can see in the S3 connector, similar to what you did for creating an index, you will create a data source name. You will point it to the actual S3 bucket. And I don't have to redo this because I've already created this. And then this is a more advanced concept, but this is very useful. You can add metadata files to your documents. Metadata includes information about the author or information about created date, and all of this can be put in a separate folder which Kendra can index. And you can use this for manual tuning, boosting on accuracy. It also helps improve accuracy. In this case, I haven't used any metadata for these files. You can create a custom IAM role or use an existing one. In this case, I've actually created a custom one. And you can set a run schedule. You can schedule it to be hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly, or you can create your own custom one. In this case, I've set run on demand. And once you do this, you go ahead and you just say, okay, create it. And then afterwards, you need to go in. In this case, I don't have to confirm the changes because I haven't changed anything. You go and you say sync now. Sync now will download all of the files in your folder and index them. In this particular case, you can see that 3,087 files were submitted. You have the ability to see the status in CloudWatch. A common error that will happen, sometimes you might not have the right IAM permissions. In my case, it actually did so, and it will give you an error message if that is so. But after fixing it, I was able to successfully index it. And if you see that in CloudWatch, you should actually be able to see get more detail on what happened to your documents. In my case, I actually had two documents which was not able to be ingested. It was a zip file and a dot file. Both of them didn't contain any text content, and it was not able to be processed. So it actually gives you the error message. So it's okay for you to have some files which are not ingested, and you still get this error message. So now that you have this indexed, that's it. You completed step 2. You have the option to add FAQs. In this demo, I'm not going to be adding FAQs. You also have the option to have facet definition. In current example, I'm not going to be adding any facets, but you do have the ability to add facets based on view count or other metadata that you can add. Kendra currently supports up to 100 metadata fields, and you can choose to make them facetable, searchable, and by default, available fields are displayable. So let's try a few searches. And the first search we want to do, a popular one, because I own a Kindle device, is how do I return a Kindle book? So this helps you test the search, and you'll be able to see now the Kendra results. The top part of the Kendra result is the Kendra suggested answer. The Kendra suggested answer shows you it shows you a title, and it also shows you a relevant passage highlighting the most important pieces that go with the keyword search that you performed. So in this case, it shows you go to manage your content and devices, your content tab, and you can actually click through to see what this looks like. And voila, you actually have a manage your content, and I'll be able to go here and return my Kindle book. Below these are document search results. You'll also see an arrow here. Kendra returns up to 3 suggested answers. So you can see there are other ways you can also think. In this case, there are 2 different passages. Kendra can sometimes return multiple passages from the same document because there can be multiple passages having an answer for you. It's ranked by relevance. Over here, you have many ways you can return Kindle books. You can return Kindle books and document results, which is the same as the first one, but you also have return a Kindle unlimited, return something you borrowed from the Kindle owner's lending library. And this one is lending or borrowing. Why does this show up? But if you really look down below, you see there's a return loan book. So this is still a relevant result if you click through. That even though the answer is not right at the top, Kendra was able to look through and find an answer in the document, which also contains actions that you can do to return. The key I wanted to show here is that there are many ways you can find answers to your questions, and Kendra helps provide all these answers through suggested answers, which Kendra believes to be the most relevant answer, and also provides you different document results that show you other content related to your query. Kendra also provides ways to do natural language questions. So I'm going to try a natural language question here in my console search. One example is, let's say, what is the annual fee for Amazon Prime? So this is a popular question asked in Amazon help pages. And the answer for this is $119. Kendra highlights the $119. And there's other information here about Prime Video membership. It also contains information about other Prime benefits of discounted charges. And you can see a similar document search result, which talks about the Prime membership charge, about Business Prime, about Amazon Prime, the terms and conditions, and so on. So now let's go back and ask another question, which is more natural language oriented. How about how much cashback can I earn on purchases? In this particular case, the maximum cashback you can earn on an Amazon store card is 5%. You can see another feature here for Kendra that is called the top answer feature. Even Kendra suggested answer shows you an answer that from the paragraph that it answers the question the best it can. But it can also, when it's highly confident of the answer that it highlights, it'll actually pull it up and make it bigger. And in the API, this is called a top answer. So based on the level of confidence that Kendra has, it can provide the top answer result, which helps people who are searching for find information really quickly. Right. So in this case, I get the answer right away. And here's another example. This is not very well known, but what are the minimum characters required for an Amazon password? Most people think it's 8, but Kendra is able to go through the list and give you the answer. Let's see if this comes out to be a top answer. And in this case, the top answer is 6. So a minimum of 6 is required, but it says use at least 8 characters. So this is right from the document here, and this has more more advice on how to choose a strong password. And so how to choose a strong password, and you have other terms of use and how to reset your password. And so there are other ways in which you can actually look down on document results, but is able to actually highlight the actual answer here. So now, if I go back, you can see that the Kendra console is, you can also do, one of the things I want to point out is in the Kendra console, you can also test your manual tuning. There are different metadata fields associated with the document. You could boost, for example, you could boost more on title. And all you have to do is drag them, or you can adjust and say save. And this would mean that the settings have applied, and there's a 10-second delay for the settings to propagate. But by the time you close this, it should already be done. And then you can go back and change the result again and see if that makes a difference. So in this particular case, it didn't. But you can see some results have actually changed because the borrow books and lending have actually come up on the top because the Kindle books are together in my title. But the suggested answer remains the same. So that's it for my demo. Kendra has a lot more features inbuilt, and but this is a great way for you to get started. So you saw that Kendra is able to ingest many of the Amazon help pages and provide answers quickly. So, but you can think of Kendra for many use cases. Some of them are listed here. One use case, which we talked about, was the internal search use case, where you can provide Kendra documents on your operations, on maybe HR use cases, legal use cases, your patent documentation, R&D, engineering documentations, and enable employees to search and quickly find information and save them time. But Kendra can also be used for external search. It can help improve customer experience. Imagine you have a product or a service that customers need to find information on quickly, and you have a lot of documentation available to them, but you can enable those customers to find that information quickly using Kendra. That improves customer experience. It also saves time because they don't have to call on information which is maybe found too deep and they couldn't find that information they're looking for. Kendra can also be used for CRM. One use case is call center management, where call center agents can search and find information quickly. Rather than putting customers on hold to find the information, they're able to find the answers using natural language queries and have supporting documentation attached to them. It will enable them to answer questions quickly and also provide more accurate answers to customers. It's easy to get started, even in the public preview state of Kendra. You have machine learning powered search, and you can get started with as easy as 1, 2, 3. For more information, please go to aws.amazon.com/Kendra. It's time for your questions. So if you haven't already done so, please put your questions in the chat box, and we will answer those questions now.